it's truly an honor and a privilege to be here. You know, I think when you have good people behind you, extraordinary things happen. When you have a world-class education, impossible is nothing. So I'm very fortunate and thankful to be part of Hofstra University and be an alumni with you all out there. I was just a young boy from Kingston, Jamaica when I came to the United States in 1985. And I happened to find a crazy wrestling coach who sat at my table and got me in a sport called wrestling, which sounds more brutal than it is in terms of, it is a pretty brutal sport. But, you know, that allowed me to, one, develop myself, my human potential, my mental potential, and just being an individual of civic virtue through the sport of wrestling. So, you know, that allowed me to go to Hofstra University on full scholarship, which, you know, it's, you know, a lot of folks go to school and do good and get good grades and are very efficient at taking tests. You know, I think the biggest thing I learned from Hofstra University was the ability to think. I think when you can think, you're able to solve problems and you're able to innovate. And through that innovation, through that ability to solve problems, those people really benefit and advance society and advance humanity. You know, when we were at Goldman, when I started my career at Goldman Sachs, I always hired a kid, not whether he went to Harvard or Princeton, but the ability for that individual to think and be able to solve problems. And that always stuck with me in my time at Hofstra University. Another thing that stuck with me was I had one of my history professors say to me, you know what, you don't want to be just a U.S. citizen, you want to be a world citizen. And that always rang a bell with me, because the first time I started to travel internationally was while I was at Hofstra. I went to Budapest, Hungary. It was the first time I ever traveled to compete internationally, and Hofstra University was able to fund that for me. And I just got back from Budapest, Hungary, you know, 3 days ago, and the U.S. Women's Olympic team, which I had, you know, we finished third in the world. And, you know, it's just such a great connection between what I did at Hofstra and where I am today. And, you know, it was mentioned that, you know, Olympic wrestling was being cut from the Olympic program this year. I found out about that, you know, which is in a great place, actually. I was in Havana, Cuba with the U.S. Olympic team, drinking the Cuba Libre. So, it was, you know, that was the good part. That was the good part of the story. The bad part of the story, the 3,000-year-old sport was being removed from the core program. And I thought about it, and I said, you know, what happened? You know, how could this happen? Does it make sense? And it went back to Hofstra and thinking about the ability to think, the ability to utilize my marketing degree. How can we get wrestling front and center, right? The ability to utilize the history professors that I had here. What happened to get us to this point? And what do we need to evolve the sport in the future? You know, 150,000 air miles later, from Cuba to Iran to Mongolia, South Korea, Argentina, Panama, Russia, Brazil. You know, my interns are here. They probably have been working hard in office to me. It's gotten. We're back. You know, and to know that Hofstra was on the front line of that movement to get the Olympics back and to get wrestling not only as a core sport in the program, but now a leader in the globe of the program, meeting Putin to Sheikh Al Sabah, Kuwait, to Prince Albert, Monaco. I'm actually going to go see him in F1. But we're right there. I mean, be proud to be a Hofstra grad, and I think it's just that civic virtue of doing something that's, you know, for the greater good. You know, one of my favorite Roman leaders is Cincinnatus, and what he did, you know, every time they asked him, the Roman senators would go to him, he'll be farming in the field, going, we want you to be counsel. He'll put on his robe, go be counsel. Soon as he changed everything and it ended, he gave up his power, but he always did it for the greater good of the people, and that's what really Hofstra is about, good people.